warning to all fucking parents out there. My child has just come home from school without my authority and has been given fucking injections on her fucking arm. I've rung the school and they've said that it was nothing to do with them, that the NHS come into the school and they've done it.
I've got a tag!
And not even had my authority. I've not signed nothing. I'm absolutely fucking livid. Please fucking check your children and make sure that they're not being fucking jabbed without your authority. Now, if my child gets fucking ill, what am I supposed to do? Fuck knows what she's had put in her. School has fucking pissed me off. I'm so fucking angry and upset. Now I'm worried that my fucking child's gonna get fucking ill. Please.
How we doing, guys? Myself, Preddie OBE, hitting you with a quick one. Well, you just saw the video. What did I tell you? They are going to force it on you regardless whether you like it or not. So you mean to tell me that your child is going to go into school and automatically they're just going to inject your child without your consent? Without no letter home? Because they say that you could be putting other children at risk now. Guys, I keep telling you guys, do your research. The most important thing is making sure that your children's safe. I know you've got jobs. I know you got work. I know you feel like you got stuff to do in your life. But there shouldn't be nothing more important than your children's health and your children's safety. Just because we feel like we've got a pandemic doesn't mean they should be going around injecting them.
That I was, like 100% confident we'll get a vaccine for COVID-19.
The trouble is that the people who think that they can take responsibility for their own health and take their own risk are, I'm afraid, misunderstanding the situation.
Now, whatever else we might say about the pandemic, I think we have to recognise that this is largely of our own making.
The most radical change to UK medicines law in over half a century is set to occur in October. The changes will allow experimental COVID vaccines to be rolled out and promoted like no drug before it, as well as to be administered by people who are not qualified healthcare professionals.
We've got 30 million doses already contracted for with AstraZeneca. In fact, they are starting to manufacture those doses already ahead of approval, so that should approval come through, and it's still not certain, but it is looking up, should that approval come through, then we're ready to roll out.
The Oxford coronavirus vaccine trial has been temporarily put on hold after a participant developed an unknown illness. Researchers halted the experiment to investigate whether the patient had an adverse reaction to the vaccine.
There's a small window of opportunity to stop this happening, but it needs as many people as possible to object, so that the changes in the law are not just rubber-stamped by Parliament. That window is provided by a public consultation organised by the Department of Health and Social Care that closes on the 18th of September. You'll have one chance to make your views and objections known to the government before the amendments to UK medicines law go to Parliament. This is not just about COVID vaccines. The changes in law are also happening at the same time that the UK takes over full responsibility for its laws on medicines from the European Union because of Brexit. Safety testing of drugs and vaccines don't always stop an unsafe drug being sold. That's why Vioxx, Baycol and Bextra had to be recalled. Testing before the 1960s was even less rigorous. That's, of course, when the thalidomide disaster struck, causing an epidemic of birth defects to children born to mothers who had used the drug for their morning sickness or anxiety during pregnancy. Modern testing protocols that are now about to be cast aside by these new laws direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription drugs and vaccines could create the perfect storm for such a disaster. We need to tell the government we won't support a change in legislation that opens the door to coercion of the public in a mass vaccination programme using experimental vaccines based on genetic engineering platforms that have never been used at scale before. The taxpayer pays for and also indemnifies all commercial interests from any civil liability in the event of injury. Are you happy for the manufacturers of these novel vaccines to be granted full immunity from prosecution if they cause damage to those vaccinated? The consultation closes on the 18th of September. We've got this very small window of time in which to get in our responses, as well as telling as many of our friends, relatives and others in our networks to respond as well. We've put our draft response to the consultation on our website in case you find it helpful in making your own response. Please follow the links below. Say it now. Don't regret it later.
Human trials have now started. Yeah. The human trials has now started because now they're pushing it on our young people. Without your consent, without no letter, without no sit down and say, listen, guys, this is what we're trying to do and this is what now our rules and legislations are within our own school. No. We're just going to come in. The NHS is just going to come in, inject your child. If your child drops down and dies, sorry, you got one of the bad, you got one of the bad batch. We're not liable. We tried to save you, but I was already okay before you tried to save me. But you're saving me how? Social distance. But it's social and distance at the same time. But ain't social, being around people. And distance means stay away from people. You're mad. But now all of a sudden, these are the kind of things, guys, like I said, pushing the vaccine on you. But when they push the vaccine on you, like they say, they have no liability. So who has liability then? So when you're pushing something in my skin, and then you're talking about these chips that's going to start mutating and being able to adapt to my body for data. So I don't need to now go to the hospital and the doctors know everything because they can scan me like a barcode. You're not scanning nothing, papa. Yeah? Go scan your mama. Yeah? I'm sick and tired of it. Everyone looks at me, oh, Chris, you go too far. I'm not going too far. You're not scanning nothing. How about that? Try and scan me. Try and inject me. Come. I want everybody to see. Yeah? It's going live. You're going to be the first one that's going to be getting tasered up on the roadside. That will be me then. Because you're not injecting me with nothing. I'm telling you, look, now from the cuff. This is what they do. They force fear in us and make us believe that we need this. We don't need nothing. I don't need nothing. I'm fine. I'm walking up and down fine. Don't need no mask. I don't need no nothing. Don't need no vaccine. Don't need no chip. I'm pretty okay with the lifestyle and the standard that I'm living. I wash my hands. I'm very clean. I'm very hygienic. And if I have any illness and any sickness, I'm going back to the old school remedies. You understand? Honey, ginger, lemon. You understand? Sea moss. You understand? Listen, don't go away. Don't come to me with none of your paracetamols. Don't come to me with none of your... Nothing. Don't tell me about nothing that you feel like is beneficial for my life. But all of a sudden you're telling me that I must take it. It's mandatory. It's not mandatory. I ain't taking nothing. You ain't pushing nothing up in my skin, rude boy. I'm telling everybody from ground zero. Because it's funny how this vaccine now is all of a sudden is the cure. Cure to what? We still don't even know what COVID is, who COVID is, what COVID even looks like. Bare deaths, not in a bad way, but where's their names? There's so many people that's died, but you can't even say their names. They were that significant. But you can't even shout out George, you can't even shout out Sarah and James and Tyrone and all these kind of people that they don't have faces. You're bang out of order. Then you're talking about COVID. Nah, I'm going to see COVID because I feel like you're giving me COVID. How about that one? I feel like you're trying to push it upon me. And then when I do have it and I'm coughing and I'm sick now, all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, rah, like what's going on? When you push it into me, don't you realize when you get flu, you know when you get the flu jab, they give you the flu because it's meant to stop you from getting the flu. So they just inject you with bare flu. So what do you think the vaccine is? Ain't they injecting you with the flu, with the COVID? Mad thing, and then they're going to see if your body adapts to it. And if your body don't, then they're going to look at you like, all right, cool. Well, obviously, you're not the one, innit? And we need to cut down this population anyway. Because you lot love having kids. And you lot love running around. And right now, we need to shut that down. Wow. That's the life. That's the reality. If you guys don't want to wake up to the calls, a lot of your guys are going to be getting vaccinated. A lot of your kids are going to be getting vaccines because we're run by fear. I'm not run by fear. There's no boundaries. There's no limits. There's no limitations on what I can and what I can't do. I am a free man. I don't abide by none of your rules. I don't consent to it. I didn't sign a form. I didn't sign no paper. Don't tell me about contract. Don't tell me about nothing. Leave me alone. I didn't sign up for it. I didn't sign it. I didn't agree to it. So therefore, I'm not involved. If that's what you lot want to do, if that's what everyone else believes in, like I said, each to their own. And I'm saying to all of you guys, if you believe that, if you honestly believe about COVID and everything, then take your steps. Please take the vaccine. Please be safe. Please make your kids take the vaccine. If that's the way you feel and you feel like, no, I need to do that for you. But don't come on my page and tell me, oh, Chris, you're wrong. Don't tell me nothing. Just leave me. This is my opinion. If you're on my page, then this is my opinion. I ain't telling anybody else to do something or not do something. Do your own research. But already with this mother, she doesn't know what's been pushed in her child. She doesn't know what's going on. I'm just saying.
We'll also be live every Wednesday from 8 PM to 10 PM via Instagram. If you need to reach out, just send us a direct message and Big Sis will get back to you.